And it's like, I wouldn't tear down my Legos and put them in a box and suffocate all my Lego people.
But he's like, but what if, you take that Lego world down, you build a better Lego world. You've learned from that, so now you want to create a better Lego world.
I would say that, I would try to assist the people, my Lego people, into creating a better version of the world.
And he's like, I've done that for fucking
I would
2,000
just say, like,
years.
Okay. I would say, you know what, dude? Why don't you stick around and stop presenting us with all these other people who are supposed to be relating this for you because they suck. Fuck all the.
He's like, look, they'll be punished, Scott. Don't think that they're getting away light.
Yeah, but like,
anyone who's misinterpreting my message is getting a swift kick in the ass.
Why don't you just spend a decade down here?
Because it stinks. Because I'm God. I don't want to hang out with a bunch of lowlifes. It'd be like you living in the gutter for 10. Hey, Scott, go live in the gutter for 10 years. How's that feel?
Well, if I had lived in the gutter and I could pull a bunch of people out of the gutter by spending that time, then I might do it.
Well, why haven't you done it yet?
Because
that ain't me. I'm Jesus. Why haven't you done it yet? You've been alive 36 years, 37 years, 37? 37 years. Why haven't you spent 10 years in the gutter?
I don't know, because we're just having this conversation now.
Scott just threw up the horns for 37. That was cute. With his tongue
He's
out.
like, what are you doing? I'm like,
37, man. Did you see Clerks?
Come on. You see omnipotent. You see everything.
He's like, yeah, it was pretty funny. But back to the point.
I don't. I mean, this is just coming up right now.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm just saying.
He's like, hey, it's coming up just now to you, but it's been laid out. I've sent warnings. There's been a book that you could have read, a manual. And you didn't choose to believe in it. The fat one, he's in heaven already. How about that?
God damn it.
No more SModcast. Now it's Modcast. No, I don't know that I necessarily go to heaven. But I would not be, if they were like, look, go argue with Jesus, I'd be like, fuck no. I've always been kind of pro-Jesus, and now I'm really pro-Jesus.
I would, if somebody would like, if you were saying like, he's running around, he's liquefying the planet, and like, I would just be like, most likely, I'm going to be liquefied. So I'm like, if I could get 10 minutes with him.
Jesus. Hi, can I get 10 minutes of your time, please?
Starting now. Wait. It's taking you too long to come down here. Give me, starting now.
He's like, 10 of my minutes or your minutes?
I'm like, whatever's longer.
All right, you got me. 10 of your minutes.
Yeah, I'd give it a shot.
All right, what if that didn't work?
And
he was just like, look, you can't run circles.
Just like miming masturbation the whole
like,
time. I'm like, no, hold on, Jesus.
You're like, man, this is not the 10 minutes I was hoping for.
Can we start the 10 minutes over and you maybe act a little more mature? Because this is like stupid.
Jerk. Wow. Jesus is acting like he's putting the retard voice on.
No, it's fucked up.
Let's say it fails. And it will.
It did, yes, of course.
Because he's
I'm
like,
saying I would take my shot.
He's like, look,
Why not?
man, you can't argue logic with me. I created arguments and logic. You can't.
I know, but you got to give me something for the effort.
He's like, look, I think it's cute. He pats you on the head. He's like, run along, get ready for the fucking oblivion.
Make my death quick. At least I
He's
tried.
like, no, now. He's like, yeah. He's like, all right,
Grant
I'll take
me
that
something.
into consideration. But then the UN, you have to go back to UN. They're like, did it work? You're like, not really.
I have an audio recording. I don't want somebody like this. They're like, who's that? I'm like,
that's Jesus,
his
if you can
answer.
believe it.
To me, he basically mocked me. It was 3 minutes. I couldn't even do it for 10
he
minutes.
mocked me, he patronized me, and he sent me on my way. He said, maybe my death will be quick. I mean, this dude, he ain't having it. And then they're like, look, we need to bond you to the fucking beast from the depths.
Does that mean they're going to sew me to him?
No, he needs a human host. So he's like, if you like living, basically you have
want
to
to get back at Jesus for mocking you.
Yeah. You think he's got a retard voice? Imagine the retard voice that'll come from you when you're filled with the power of Satan. And You get to grow as big as him.
Okay.
So
Like,
basically, he needs a
looking
human
eye
host
to
to
eye.
bond to, and then you grow into like a gigantic Scott Mosier with bat wings.
Okay.
Look the same.
Horns.
No horns.
My
you don't have to.
complexion gets a little
You look exactly the
reddish.
same, except you have bat wings.
Okay.
That's the only personification of hell that you have to. Do you do it? They're like, we got to warn you in advance. You will have all the power of hell at your disposal, but Jesus knows kung fu.
Well,
Do you know kung fu?
What? I'm like, I don't know kung fu, but does Lucifer know kung fu? Like, if Lucifer's just gonna make me tall,
Lucifer knows. Lucifer knows.
I'm not gonna fight. Like, if Jesus has lasers for eyes, kung fu, and the power of like he's indestructible, I'm not gonna be like, okay, make me large.
An easy target.
Yeah.
They're like, Satan doesn't know kung fu, but
Jiu-jitsu?
he does know old timey boxing.
He's a pugilist.
Like the white men with
boxing.
mustaches, and they hold their arms up in front of their faces and fucking box like
Did
the,
you ever see
like
Every
the
Which
boxing
Way
robot?
But Loose?
No, not even that.
No,
That's
like
fucking bare
fucking-
knuckle boxing. They're like, look, if you think it's Clint Eastwood boxing, you're really mistaken. This is like handsome Jim McKenna type boxing in like
I'm
the
like
fucking
a leotard with a fucking big curly mustache, some pomade in my hair.
Yes, you'll have bat wings, a pomade too. Your mustache will immediately, your beard falls away, you have a curly mustache, and you wear long tights, not like boxing shorts. And they come up
As
over
we
your,
already
it's like
know,
a bodysuit.
as we already know that Jesus loves to mock people, making me like an easy target for ridicule. It's like, can't I look cool? It's like,
They're like, no, but the
He'd
good
fall
news
over
is
laughing.
you're really good at it.
okay.
Like you've got a devastating they don't have
Jab.
hooks in the yes, you have a devastating jab. So yes,
You
you'll
can't
look.
even be like an ultimate fighter.
No.
What
He
happened?
didn't- He only went so far as old timey boxing, and then he got interested in other things. Then he was like, I should learn fucking. And he.
What
got
about
into
like, do I have
sex.
any powers? Like, does Jesus have powers, or is it literally like fist on fist? It's like if you don't make it if you make it a situation where like you'll be a large pugilist from the early teens
Lot 5.
versus the Almighty who could literally, if he wanted to, blink you out of existence. But I get nothing from Satan other than size.
He's the
and
one that
bat wings.
has. Yes. Well, the bat wings are just cool looking.
Gotcha.
Because then everyone
The fact
knows
they're
whose
in the
side
way.
you're fighting on.
Gotcha.
Clearly, they can easily
Does it have a
identify
shirt?
you. No, you're wearing like the old timey boxers. It's like a big one.
But the bat wings, can I fly? Can I like get air
You could get air, but not fly. Like you could jump up and
and suspend myself in the air?
yes,
50
you're
seconds?
basically about.
But I'm still
10
literally
feet off the
outmatched like 1,000,000 to 1.
Well, they're like the good news is we found Jesus' kryptonite.
Okay.
We're gonna whip some nails at him,
Okay.
and he don't like that.
Okay.
So while you're fighting him, we're down.
Well, him
below.
not liking that, like, I don't like.
They're like it hurts him. It bugs him.
Well, once again,
You're like, well, which is it? Does it hurt him or does it bug him? They're like, we're
There's a
not
big
quite sure.
difference.
And in fact,
we have been working on it right now.
we don't. This is more theoretical than
Yeah.
anything else. Let's say that Jesus will be like, look, I'll
The
give you.
best our think tank can come up with. Is
We went
nails.
to the Rand Corporation and they came up with pitch some nails.
Are they big nails?
No, they're carpet
Oh,
nails. Little ones. But lots. They got the whole world supply.
Who's
of
firing the
nails.
nails? Do I have like other
They've got
people firing the
catapults.
nails?
Old timey catapults. That they're firing at him. So, there's like, you've got that. It's more of a distraction than anything else. It doesn't truly weaken him, but it's like,
But still, I'm being sent to my death.
not necessarily. Like when you get that big and you go to face down Jesus, you're like, let's lay some ground rules down. One, we're only going to fight old timey.
You ever seen, Far and Away?
Yes, you got to fight like Tom Cruise and Far and Away.
Okay.
And he's like, fine. You can't use your eye lasers. And he's like, all right. No knives. He's like, what about broken bottles?
I'm like, no.
All right,
But what am I allowed to do?
fight.
Like, am I only allowed to, I just still feel like I'm going to lose. Like
Somebody's got to go down swinging, dude. We need a third act for the picture.
I just want to know, like, if that's it. Then
By the way, this is all still just a movie. You're taking it very seriously.
But I want to know that, like, if even in the course of a movie, it's like you would have to introduce the idea that there was a chance that the guy could win.
Old-timey Rocky. Like, Rocky was outmatched, but there was still a chance, and he fought a good fight.
But Apollo Creed didn't have fucking, like, lasers coming out of his
he
eyes.
told you he's not going to use his lasers.
Yeah, but, like, before I agreed to bond with Satan so I could have size and wings that don't really help me fly more than a few feet off the ground.
They look badass.
Do I have any shot? Even give me 1,000,000 to 1. Do I got 1,000,000 to 1 shot to stop
Your
it?
odds are better than 1,000,000 to 1.
Okay, well then that's different.
Yeah.
Like the way it was painted to me is like I was just going to die very large.